In this video, we are going to be looking at total surface area of a cylinder. In the previous video, we looked at curved surface area of a cylinder. Now remember how a cylinder looks like. Now in the previous video, I told you that there are two types of cylinder. We have the solid cylinder and then we have the open cylinder. Can you remember? Now let's say this is a solid cylinder. Now remember, for a solid cylinder, we've got two circles. And then this is an open cylinder. And for an open cylinder, we just have one circle. Now remember, in the last video, I told you that the curved surface area of the cylinder is this part. So the curved surface area of this cylinder is this part. And can you remember the formula for the curved surface area of a cylinder? 2 pi r-ish. So we've got 2 pi r-ish. Now the question is, how do we calculate the total surface area of a cylinder? Now watch. Now remember, the area of a circle is pi r square. That means the area of this circle up is pi r square. And the area of the circle down is pi r square. It then means to calculate the total surface area of a cylinder, I add the three areas. The area of the circle up, the curved surface area of the cylinder, and the area of the circle down. Does that make sense? Now before I do that, I need to note that another name for solid cylinder is closed cylinder. So let's write the formula for the total surface area of a closed cylinder. So it's equals to pi r square plus 2 pi r-ish plus pi r square. Now if we rearrange, we'll be having pi r square plus pi r square plus 2 pi r-ish. I hope you understand. I just collected like terms, which will be equals to pi r square plus pi r square is 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r-ish. Does that make sense? Then lastly, we can go a step further. Total surface area of a closed cylinder equals to 2 pi r is common to both entities. So I can have 2 pi r. What will remain here? R plus what will remain here? H. And this is the formula for the total surface area of a closed cylinder. 2 pi r into bracket r plus h. Do you understand? Now let's write the formula for the total surface area of an open cylinder. Now if I squeeze it somewhere here, now it's still going to be the same process. We have total surface area of open cylinder equals to, now remember, for an open cylinder we only have one circle and the area of the circle below would be pi r square. Does that make sense? So to find the total surface area, all I need to do is to add the two areas, the curved surface area and the area of the circle. So I should have 2 pi r-ish plus pi r square. Does this make sense? Now we can also factorize what's common to both sides. We have pi r. So we'll have pi r into brackets. What remains here? 2h plus what remains here? R. So this is the formula for total surface area of an open cylinder. Pi r into bracket 2h plus r. Does that make sense? Let's take some examples. So we have calculate the total surface area of a closed cylinder of radius 12 centimeter and height 6 centimeter. Now let's solve this. Remember, the first thing you need to do is to write the formula for total surface area of a closed cylinder. And truthfully, you don't need to cram the formula. All you need to do is to draw a closed cylinder somewhere on a rough paper. Remember, a closed cylinder has two circles. Does that make sense? What's the area of the first circle? Pi r square. What's the area of the second circle? Pi r square. And what's the curved surface area of a cylinder? 2 pi r-ish. So I add these three things up and I should have 2 pi r square plus pi r square plus 2 pi r-ish. And here's the formula for the total surface area of a closed cylinder. If you like, you may want to factorize what's common to both entities. We have 2 pi r into brackets what remains here r plus what remains here h. And here's the formula for the total surface area of a closed cylinder. So we have total surface area of cylinder equals to 2 pi r into bracket r plus h. The next thing you want to do is to outline what you were given from the question. We're told that the radius is 12 centimeter, so r equals to 12 centimeters, and we are told that the height is 6 centimeters, so h equals to 6 centimeters. And lastly, we're told to take pi as 3.142, so pi equals to 3.142. Now we've got to slot this into the formula. So we have total surface area equals to, I've got 2 times pi is 3.142 times radius is 12 into brackets radius is 12 plus height is 6. Do you get this? Now we have total surface area equals to 2 times 3.142 times 12 will give us 75.408 into bracket 12 plus 6 is into bracket 12 plus 6 is 18. So we have total surface area of the cylinder equals to 75.408 times 18. That will give us approximately 1357.3, and then we've got centimeter square. And here's our answer. Does this make sense? So don't forget, all you need to remember is the formula, and then you can slot in all the values given. Let's take another example. So we have calculate the total surface area of an open cylinder of diameter 14 meters and height 10 meters, and we are told to take pi equals to 22/7. Now remember, the first thing is to write the formula. Total surface area of an open cylinder. Can you remember the formula? Now remember, you don't need to cram. For an open cylinder, we've got just one circle. Does this make sense? So the curved surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r-ish. The area of a circle is pi r square. So we add these two together, we have 2 pi r-ish plus pi r square. Then we can ask for what is common to both of them. We have pi r into bracket what remains here 2h plus what remains here r. And this is the formula for total surface area of an open cylinder. Pi r into bracket 2h plus r. Does this make sense? Now the next thing you want to do is to highlight what we are given from the question. We are told that diameter is 14 meters, but we don't have diameter in the formula, but we can get radius from diameter. Radius equals to diameter over 2. Radius equals to 14/2. So it means radius equals to 7 meters. So we've got radius equals to 7 meters. We are told that height is 10 meters. So we have h equals to 10 meters. Then lastly, we're told to take pi equals to 22/7. Now we've got to slot this into the formula. So we have total surface area equals to pi is 22/7. So 22/7 times radius is 7. So we have 7/1 into brackets. We have 2 times height is 10 plus radius is 7. Does this make sense? 7 here 1, 7 here 1. We are left with 22. So total surface area equals to 22 into brackets. 2 times 10 is 20. So I have 20 plus 7. Does this make sense? So it then means we have total surface area equals to 22 into bracket. 20 plus 7 is 27. So we have total surface area equals to 22 times 27. 7 times 2, 14. 4 carry 1. 7 times 2, 14 plus 1, 15. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. If I add this, I should have 4 plus 5, 9. 4 plus 1, 5. So we have 594 meters square. And this is our answer. Does this make sense? Now in this case, we are not told if the cylinder is an open cylinder or a closed cylinder. But whenever you are not told the exact type of cylinder, you are going to assume that it's a solid cylinder, that is a closed cylinder. Does that make sense? So we have total surface area of closed cylinder equals to, remember, don't forget the drawing. For closed cylinder, we have two circles, so pi r square, 2 pi r h for the curved surface area, and then we have pi r square. So if you add everything together, you should be having 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h, and if you factorize, 2 pi r comes out, and we are left with r plus h. Does that make sense? So we've got 2 pi r into brackets r plus h. What were we given from the question? We're told that the diameter is 10 centimeter. If diameter is 10 centimeter, it means radius is diameter over 2. Radius is 10 over 2. So radius is 5 centimeters. So we know radius is 5 centimeters. Then we are told that the height is 3.5 centimeters. So height equals to 3.5 centimeters. And we are told to take pi equals to 22 over 7. So pi equals to 22 over 7. We slot this into the formula. We have total surface area equals to 2 times 22 over 7 times 5 over 1 into brackets 5 plus 3.5. Does this make sense? Now if you look, there's nothing that can cut anything, so we just multiply. So we have total surface area equals to 2 times 22 is 44. 44 times 5 is 5 times 4 is 20, 0 carry 2. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2 is 22. Do you get that? So we have 220 over 7 into brackets 5 plus 3.5 is 8.5. Does this make sense? So if we like, we can divide. We have 7 here 1. 7 in 22 is 3. Remainder 1. 7 in 10 is 1. Remainder 3. 7 in 30 is 4. Remainder 2. 7 in 20 is 2. So we have approximately 31.42. Total surface area equals to 31.42 multiplied by 8.5. Does this make sense? So it means total surface area equals to 31.42 times 8.5 is 267.07, and then we've got centimeter square. This is the answer. Now don't forget that the total surface area of an open cylinder is pi r square plus 2 pi r h. You can now go on to factorize, and the total surface area for a closed cylinder, also known as a solid cylinder, is pi r square 2 pi r h. And if you add all together, you'll be having 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h, and then you can go on to factorize.